So this is the Z-axis assembly video. There's quite a few steps in this one, so I'm just going to break it down into smaller parts. We've got to prepare the Z-axis rails. These two shorter aluminium pieces are the rails that the bearing carriage moves up and down, and the two longer ones are the lifters or risers that the X-axis is locked onto. I'll put it all together a little bit later on so that you can see what's going on. But what I might do here first is just glue these or fix these parts together. We'll screw fix them together first, but and we'll leave the screws in these. These are the top brackets, so there's a little. We just want the screws to sit in there as finishes. In the bottom brackets, we've got to take the screws back out again because they're actually the screw points, or the M3 points, are used to lock the bottom panel onto the machine. So I'm assuming that you've gone and tapped everywhere where it says M3. There's 8 holes that need to be tapped, and countersunk the other holes that have the countersinking rings around them. These ones technically don't need to be countersunk, but I've done it anyway. It will actually help the screws slot into position a little bit easier when we're mounting the bottom plate onto the machine. So I'm just going to start by screw fixing these together. I'll just grab these parts. I'm actually going to need a few more screws than this. So I've just added a few extra screws in there. 4 of them will stay, the original 4 will actually stay with these parts. The other 4 we'll use to fix the fascia in place. So we'll reuse them. So I'm just going to start by popping these together. I'm just going to loosely fix them first. So there's a little bit of a gap in there. I'll get my little glue board here, just pop that on top there, and put a little bit of glue in. Making sure these parts are nicely aligned. Wig that into that gap. And just fix it together. Now we're only going to leave these fixed together for a short period of time. Otherwise the screw thread starts to get eaten away. So we'll probably leave it about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5. I might just release this one that I did first and just make sure that it's holding together. Yep, you can see a little bit of that plastic coming off out of the thread, but it is holding together, so that's good. I'm just going to leave that to set for a little while. These ones won't be quite ready yet. So we'll actually put these screws back in again on these parts, but I'll leave them out of these parts. There we go. So I'm just going to set those aside now, and I'll just put them out of frame, and we'll get on with the next job while those are setting.